What if the only thing standing between you and unstoppable drive is your own mind? Imagine clearing away the mental fog that blinds your purpose, turning every wild emotion into raw power, and building discipline so strong it moves you even when motivation fades. Picture becoming fluid like water, unshaken by obstacles, feeding your mind only truth while crushing fear underfoot. See yourself acting without clinging to results, and aligning your mind, body, and spirit until they move as one force. Master your mind, and motivation will no longer be fleeting. It will become the fire that never dies. What if the only thing standing between you and unstoppable drive is your own mind? Imagine clearing away the mental fog that blinds your purpose, turning every wild emotion into raw power, and building discipline so strong it moves you even when motivation fades. Picture becoming fluid like water, unshaken by obstacles, feeding your mind only truth while crushing fear underfoot. See yourself acting without clinging to results, and aligning your mind, body, and spirit until they move as one force. Master your mind, and motivation will no longer be fleeting. It will become the fire that never dies. Before you can command your motivation, you must first master the battlefield within your own mind. Most people try to push themselves forward while carrying the weight of mental clutter, and they wonder why their steps feel heavy. The truth is, you cannot move with speed or strike with precision if your thoughts are tangled and your vision is blurred. Imagine trying to fight while blindfolded. Every swing would be uncertain, every move hesitant. This is what happens when the mind is clouded. So the first step is to clear it. Strip away the noise. Silence the endless chatter that tells you what you should fear, what you must chase, or how you might fail. When you quiet that inner storm, something powerful emerges: clarity. Clarity is like standing on a mountain peak where the wind is thin and the view stretches without end. From there, you can see not just where you are, but where you are going. Most people never climb to that height because they are trapped in the valley of distraction. They are pulled in every direction by desires that are not their own, by fears planted by others, by doubts whispered by a restless mind. But if you wish to master your motivation, you must step out of that fog. Ask yourself what truly matters. Not what is loud, not what is urgent, but what is essential. This is not an answer found in the outside world. It is discovered in stillness, in the quiet dialogue between you and your own spirit. When you achieve this kind of clarity, your actions gain a sharpness they never had before. Every move becomes deliberate, every choice aligned with purpose. You stop wasting energy on battles that are not yours to fight. You stop scattering your effort on goals that do not belong to your heart. This is how the mind begins to serve you rather than sabotage you. And with this inner alignment, motivation ceases to be something you chase. It becomes something that flows from you naturally, like breath. Do not mistake this clarity for passiveness. It is not the stillness of a stagnant pond. It is the stillness of a coiled spring. It holds power. It holds direction. Once your mind is clear, the smallest spark becomes enough to ignite you. You act not out of desperation or doubt, but from a place of certainty. And that certainty gives birth to an unstoppable force within you. Clear your mind, and your path will reveal itself. Emotions are like waves. They rise, they crash, they recede. Many people are swept away by them, tossed back and forth between highs and lows, never realizing that they can learn to ride these waves instead of drowning beneath them. To master your mind, you must understand that emotions are not your enemy. They are raw energy. What matters is not whether they appear, but how you respond when they do. If anger burns in your chest, do not let it consume you. Shape it into focus, sharpen it into determination. If fear whispers in your ear, do not run, listen. learn what it is trying to protect, and then walk forward anyway. This is how you turn what was once a chain into fuel. Most people believe motivation arrives only when they feel good, when they are confident, inspired, or full of joy. But that is weakness disguised as comfort. True mastery is the ability to act even when your emotions scream for you to stop. Your emotions are like wild horses. They are powerful, but without reins they will trample you. With discipline, they will carry you farther than you imagined. So you must place yourself in the position of the rider, not the passenger. Recognize the storm when it comes, breathe deeply, and guide it with your will. This does not mean denying your emotions or burying them. Suppression only gives them more control. Instead, observe them as they arise. Name them without judgment. See anger as energy, not rage. See sadness as reflection, not weakness. See excitement as momentum, not chaos. The moment you create this space between what you feel and how you act, your mind becomes the master, and your emotions become your allies. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you feel like your strength is fading, and the fire inside you is only embers. In those moments, remember this: emotions are temporary, but your purpose is not. The mind that stays rooted in its purpose can weather any storm of feeling. Let the emotions pass through you like wind through an open hand, and hold your course. When you stop being controlled by what you feel and start directing it, you unlock a deeper source of power within yourself. You no longer wait for motivation, you generate it. And in that state, nothing outside you can dictate your drive, because your mind stands above the storm. Motivation is often misunderstood. People wait for it, like they wait for the sun to rise, hoping it will appear and light their path. But if you depend on waiting, you will remain still, and stillness is the death of progress. Discipline is the spark that awakens motivation, not the other way around. The mind becomes sharp and strong through action, not through wishing. Each time you show up despite resistance, you carve strength into your character. When your body aches and your thoughts whisper excuses, that is the very moment you must act. Because every small act done in defiance of comfort builds the foundation for unstoppable drive. Think of discipline as training a wild beast that lives inside you. In the beginning, it thrashes, it fights, it resists. But each time you take hold of the reins, each time you move forward instead of giving in, it begins to obey. And when that beast is finally tamed, its power becomes your own. The mind learns to move without waiting for permission from fleeting moods. Discipline becomes the engine that turns the wheels of your life, even when the fuel of emotion runs low. Motivation is unreliable because it depends on how you feel, and feelings change like the wind. Discipline is unshakable because it is built on choice, not emotion. Every day you choose to act, you add another brick to the fortress of your will. This is how the mind becomes steady and unmovable. The world can throw storms at you, but the disciplined mind walks through rain as if it were sunlight. Do not think this path is about harshness or punishment. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom, it is the gateway to it. When you discipline your mind, you free yourself from the chains of procrastination, laziness, and doubt. You become the master of your time, the master of your actions, and ultimately, the master of your destiny. Each disciplined step creates momentum, and momentum fuels motivation until it blazes on its own. So do not sit and wait for the fire to appear. Strike the first spark with your own hands. Move even when your mind resists, and you will see that resistance shatters under the weight of action. Once discipline becomes your habit, motivation will rise naturally from the rhythm of your effort, and nothing will be able to stop you. Most people try to control everything around them, clinging tightly to fixed plans, rigid expectations, and unbending ideas. But when life shifts, as it always does, they shatter under the weight of change. The mind that is hard like stone may seem strong, but when struck, it breaks. The mind that flows like water cannot be broken. It bends, it adapts, it finds a way. To master your mind, you must release your grip on rigidity and learn the power of fluidity. When obstacles rise in your path, do not waste energy cursing them. Instead, move around them as water does around rock. Flow does not resist, it reshapes. When you adapt, you stay in motion, and motion keeps your spirit alive. Many people lose their motivation because they expect life to obey them, and when it doesn't, they collapse. But if you accept that the world will shift like the wind, you stop being shaken by it. You become like water, changing shape, but never losing essence. Flexibility does not mean weakness. It is not surrendering your purpose or abandoning your principles. It is remaining rooted in who you are while adjusting how you move. A river does not stop being a river. When it curves around a mountain, it becomes even stronger as it flows. The same is true for your mind. When you are willing to change your form, to try new paths without fear, you become unstoppable. This adaptability sharpens your motivation. It frees you from the weight of disappointment when plans fail, because you no longer see failure as the end. You see it as redirection. Instead of saying, "This did not work, so I must stop," you say, "This did not work, so I will find another way." That simple shift keeps the fire within you burning, while others let theirs die in the ashes of frustration. Life will test you. It will push you in directions you did not choose, challenge what you thought you knew, and pull the ground from under your feet. If you remain rigid, you will fall. If you remain fluid, you will rise. Strength is not just about standing firm. It is about moving with grace through the chaos, never losing your core, yet always willing to change your shape. Be like water, and nothing can break you. What you feed your mind becomes the soil from which your thoughts grow, and those thoughts shape the entire landscape of your life. Most people allow anything to take root in their minds. Doubt, fear, envy, distractions, without realizing they are planting seeds that will one day choke their own spirit. If you want your motivation to stay strong, you must guard your mind as fiercely as a warrior guards the gate. Every word you hear, every image you see, every voice you allow close is either sharpening your edge or dulling it. Choose carefully what you allow to enter. A mind filled with noise becomes restless, unfocused, and weak. It leaps from one thing to another, unable to commit, unable to build anything lasting. But a mind fed with truth becomes calm and powerful. It begins to cut through chaos with ease, because it is no longer weighed down by lies or clutter. This is why you must be deliberate about your mental diet. Read what strengthens you, not what poisons you. Listen to words that challenge you to rise, not ones that feed your complacency. Speak words that align with your values, because every word you speak echoes back into your mind. Many people underestimate how deeply their environment shapes their motivation. They surround themselves with negativity and wonder why they feel drained. They allow the opinions of the weak-minded to shape their direction and wonder why they are lost. If you stand in the rain long enough, you will get soaked. If you stand among doubt long enough, you will forget your own strength. The mind you are building must stand above this. It must be selective, intentional, and clear. This does not mean closing yourself off from the world. It means becoming aware of what deserves your attention and what does not. It means asking with every piece of information, every voice, every thought, does this bring me closer to who I am meant to be, or does it pull me away? If it pulls you away, cut it off. Not with anger, but with clarity. Protecting your mind is protecting your power. When your thoughts are rooted in truth and fueled by purpose, motivation flows naturally. It is no longer fragile, no longer easily broken by doubt or failure. It becomes steady and enduring, like a fire that never goes out because it is constantly fed. Build your mind on strong input, and your spirit will stand unshaken. Fear is a shadow that grows larger the more you run from it. It whispers lies in your mind, making the path ahead seem darker than it is, and the longer you avoid it, the stronger it becomes. Most people wait until fear disappears before they act, but fear does not vanish on its own. It must be faced. To master your mind, you must drag fear into the light. When you look directly at it, you see it for what it truly is, not an immovable wall, but a veil of smoke. The mind creates fear to protect you, but that protection can become a prison if you let it rule you. Each time you step forward despite fear, you take back a piece of your power. Your mind learns that it can move even while fear is present, and slowly the fear begins to shrink. This is the hidden strength most people never discover. Not the absence of fear, but the ability to walk through it. Courage is not the roar of a lion. It is the quiet, steady breath you take as you place one foot in front of the other, refusing to stop. Do not think that fear makes you weak. Fear is a sign you are standing at the edge of growth. It only appears when something meaningful is at stake. That means fear is not a signal to retreat. It is a signal to rise. When your mind stops treating fear as an enemy and begins to see it as a guide, your whole perspective changes. Instead of avoiding what scares you, you lean toward it. Instead of shrinking back, you expand. Understand this: fear lives only in the mind, not in the moment. It is the story your thoughts tell about what might happen, not what is happening. And stories can be rewritten. Breathe deeply, stand tall, and act. Not recklessly, but with calm intention. Each action taken in the presence of fear is a victory, and each victory frees your mind a little more. A mind free from fear moves without hesitation, without self-doubt, without the chains of imagined limits. When fear no longer controls you, your motivation becomes unstoppable, because nothing blocks its flow. Face fear, not to destroy it, but to release its hold on you. And when you do, you will discover a mind that is unshakable. Chasing results is like chasing the wind. You may feel it, but you can never hold it. Most people tie their motivation to outcomes, and when those outcomes do not arrive as expected, their spirit collapses. They rise when things go well, and sink when they don't, living as prisoners to results they cannot fully control. This is why their motivation flickers like a dying flame. To master your mind, you must detach from the outcome and anchor yourself in the act itself. Focus not on where each step will lead, but on taking each step with full commitment. When you give your best effort, you plant seeds. Some will sprout quickly, others will take time, and some may never grow at all. But your task is not to count the harvest before it arrives. Your task is to keep planting. The moment you obsess over the fruit, you lose the joy and power of the work itself. And without joy in the work, your motivation withers. But when you give yourself fully to the process, every small victory becomes fuel, and every setback becomes a lesson instead of a wound. This mindset frees the mind from constant pressure. It allows you to act without fear of failure and without the desperate need to succeed at once. It brings peace into your efforts, and peace is the soil where lasting motivation grows. When the mind is calm, you can see more clearly, adjust more quickly, and move more steadily. Results may come, or they may not, but they no longer control your spirit. There is a quiet power in showing up simply, because it is who you are, not because of what you might get. That kind of commitment cannot be broken by failure, delay, or doubt. It becomes a force of nature, steady, relentless, and pure. This is what it means to move without clinging to reward. Detach from the outcome, and your motivation will no longer rise and fall with fortune. It will burn steadily from within, untouched by success or failure, because it will no longer depend on either. The mind cannot rise to its full power when it is divided from the body and the spirit. Most people try to push forward, using only their thoughts, while their body is exhausted and their spirit is empty. They wonder why their motivation fades, not realizing they are trying to run with only one leg. To master your mind, you must bring all parts of yourself into alignment. The mind directs, the body moves, and the spirit fuels. When they move as one, your drive becomes unstoppable. Your body is not just a vessel, it is the foundation on which your mind stands. If the body is weak, sluggish, or neglected, the mind becomes dull and restless. Care for it. Move it with purpose, train it with discipline, and let it become the physical expression of your inner strength. Each breath taken with intention sharpens your focus, and each deliberate movement reminds the mind that it is supported. When the body is alive, the mind awakens. But strength of body alone is not enough. The spirit must be nourished as well, because it is the source of meaning. Without meaning, discipline becomes mechanical and motivation becomes hollow. You must stay connected to what stirs your soul, your values, your vision, the deeper reason behind your actions. This is the fire that gives life to your effort. When the spirit is strong, even the hardest path feels worthwhile. When mind, body, and spirit move together, something extraordinary happens. Effort feels natural, like water flowing downhill. There is no longer a war within you pulling you in different directions. The mind becomes focused, the body becomes energized, and the spirit becomes unshakable. You no longer push yourself forward, you are drawn forward from within. Bring yourself into this alignment, and motivation will no longer be something you chase. It will become something you are.